Hello and welcome to the Alpine Valley School podcast. I'm your host, Mark Gallivan. Today's episode is going to be a little different because virtually everything around us in the world is different. I'm here at school right now recording this episode, and I'm alone. It's silent, which is just so weird because usually I struggle to find a time to record during the day where there isn't a lot of joyful background noise, and I find the quiet more than a little sad. Right now it's Thursday afternoon, and we would normally be getting ready for school meeting. But due to the current spread of the coronavirus in Colorado, all of the schools, including ours, are closed. And so we, like many others, are trying to work out how to maintain the unique culture of a self-directed, democratic school from home. If this is your first time tuning into our show, welcome. I'll give you a little background on our school and how we usually operate. Alpine Valley School is a private K-12 school located in Denver, Colorado that follows a self-directed, democratic education model, also known as the Sudbury model. On this podcast, we discuss our model of education, share stories from the day-to-day life at school, and interview families involved in our program on their experiences. The other day, as part of an exchange on our private Facebook group for currently enrolled families, a parent pointed out that in many ways, Alpine Valley School students and others involved in democratic schooling are uniquely prepared to find themselves with long stretches of free time. They have that at school all the time, and we trust them to figure out what to do with it. That part of this experience is not new for our students. They're just getting to practice it somewhere else. And I think that's something a lot of families are having to navigate potentially for the first time. I've seen many articles and posts on social media about families that are just now dipping their toe into the unschooling waters, exploring what it would be like to let their children decide for themselves how to spend their time. And yet, there's the question about community, which is, of course, one of our highest values at AVS, and we are missing our community very much right now, or at least I am. It's an important part of day-to-day life, and one we hope to get back to soon. I think there may be parents out there who are exploring unschooling for their children now, while they are home together, but may want more of a sense of community when we are all able to come together again. And to me, that describes Alpine Valley School perfectly. We're a school where students are free to decide how to spend their time, but are also learning how to live in a society with law and order, other people that they may or may not get along with, and a system of government that they must navigate in order to be an effective part of society. It's our own unique blend of freedom and responsibility, and we've been practicing it for over 22 years now. If that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to learn more, I invite you to view the resources on our website, alpinevalleySchool.com, and to attend our virtual open house, which we are working on getting set up now. We're hoping that we can open normally in the 2020-21 school year and are accepting new students in the meantime. We welcome your emails, and you can find our contact form on the website if you'd like to reach out. I'm going to dedicate the rest of this episode to hearing from our graduates, who recorded their own answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about our school a while back. And I'd like to replay them today. Our graduates are really the product of Alpine Valley School, and they very much speak for themselves. Wherever you are, whatever your educational or family situation, we hope you are safe and well. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, my name is Josh Mann. I graduated in 2009.
Hi, my name is Brandon Murphy, and I graduated in 2015.
Hi, my name is Andreas Suter. I graduated AVS in 2008.
My name is Aubrey Suter. I attended Alpine Valley School for 11 years, I think. I graduated in 2008.
I'm Bronwyn, and I graduated from AVS in 2005.
Hi, everybody. My name is Vanessa, also known as Vivi, and I was a student at AVS I graduated in 2004.
Hi, my name is Amy James, and I graduated in 2001. I was actually Alpine Valley's first graduate.
How does self-directed education prepare you for what's next in your life?
One thing that AVS does a really good job of teaching us is to always let our voice be heard. And that's something when I went to Red Rocks Community College for a period of time, something that transferred over for me was in these classroom environments, I felt very comfortable asking questions to the teacher and also socializing and interacting with the other students in the class in order to get any questions answered that I had. And that's something that I noticed was very rare in a classroom of that nature. Even in the classes where I struggled, I always found ways to get my questions answered and wasn't afraid to speak up in the classroom. And that was something that AVS taught me.
One thing that happened pretty frequently when I was still attending AVS, probably around the time I was 16 or 17, was that I would talk with people and they would say, "What college did you go to?" And that was a fairly common occurrence. I think that, whether you choose to pursue a college education or not, as a graduate of AVS, you come into the world with the kind of background that allows you to engage with people in a way that earns their respect up front. And I think that really will serve you in school, out of school, onto whatever career you take, regardless.
I think that one of the sort of most important things about AVS is that all learning is self-directed. And so when you want to learn about X thing, you don't just have to learn about X thing, you have to figure out all of the pieces to make that learning happen for yourself. And so I think that those skills translate really well into college. We had a little bit more experience running our own lives and could kind of take on that balance.
When you're at AVS, you, as a student, learn how to balance your time because you kind of have to, because there's nobody there saying how you are going to balance your day and how you're going to schedule your day. It transitions well into college because you may have a schedule in college that's kind of been given to you, but it's more freeform than, say, a traditional secondary school. And so, you do have a schedule that you have to put together, but you have experience doing that when you're at AVS.
I think the best way to get a feel for it is to look at what our grads have done, which is pretty varied. And I think we have seen graduates be successful in all different types of industries, at all different levels. And I'd say that a continuous thread that you can find from students who have gone on from AVS is the drive and self-motivation to follow these threads that they find early on in their education, because they're allowed to, pursue the things that they're interested in, and are actually given the time to sort of sit with themselves and develop self-awareness and discover what those things actually are.
I think that one of the true gifts of the time that students get to spend at Alpine Valley School is getting to know themselves and getting to kind of engage with their own curiosity, and not have that be stifled. When I was in 6th grade, I got in trouble for reading a book under my desks. I had it in my lap. We were getting a lecture on something and I was reading this book. And then as soon as they had us, and I was always a reader, I loved reading. And then as soon as they had us have to fill out this log and have our parents sign it, that we had done the amount of reading we were supposed to do, I stopped reading and learned how to forge my mom's signature. But I think that knowing oneself and knowing what one wants out of life really can help people to be more successful in choosing careers that make them happy, And so I think that because we have that time and that space for curiosity, we have a better shot anyway at taking steps toward building a career that makes us truly happy.
Don't self-directed learners get bored? And if so, what do they do about it?
Yeah, I think students get bored. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a time to reflect and think deeply, even if it's as simple as, why am I bored? What can I do to prevent this boredom? What can I do to prevent it in the future? I think it's a good thing to be bored at times.
Oh, absolutely. I used to get bored all the time. And I think, in a way, I guess boredom is kind of the mother of invention at Alpine Valley. I think that's certainly why I learned how to play the piano and why I learned how to play the guitar. Boredom is not fun. It's what pushes you to kind of get out of your comfort zone and try something you wouldn't normally try because you have nothing to do.
I think that boredom occurs no matter what you're doing. I mean, whatever type of school you're in, you're going to get bored. Whatever type of work you're doing, you're going to get bored. Boredom is a key to finding ways to either prevent that boredom or finding new things to take on in its place. Mostly at AVS, I remember getting bored when I got older, later when I was near the end of my time at AVS. And my personal way of handling it was going to the main room and striking up conversation with, Larry or any one of my fellow students in the main room, because that's what I think all of us grew to sort of love about AVS, is that during downtime we could just go into that room and converse about anything.
I would say, hell yes, we get bored. But then we have the space to figure out what to do about it. And having that time at all, like the time to be bored, is such a gift. We, have a chance to explore different activities, but also maybe sit around at the main room table and talk for the day. If you're pursuing something at Alpine Valley, it's because you want to be doing it. It's because it's important to you. And that isn't really something you can say, in other educational environments, I don't think.
Yeah, absolutely. Students do get bored at AVS. And I think that that's actually one of the most important aspects of the school. Actually, I have a story about this. So when I first joined the school, I was, I think, 6 or 7 years old, and I had my first grade homework to do. And I had back then we did visiting weeks, and I had my visiting week, and I desperately wanted someone to assign me some homework because I had no idea what else I would do. And it was really pretty existential for me. I couldn't handle the idea that there wasn't something more valuable I could be doing with my time, which sounds weird, but that was kind of where I was. So it took me about a week to get to a place where I could find ways to entertain myself, and I could find things that I actually enjoyed doing instead of just feeling like I was meeting someone else's expectations, which was really kind of what I was already going down the path of craving constantly. So in that case, the boredom, people humored me, and they were very willing to sort of help me get through the hurdle of figuring out what I actually wanted to do. They didn't supply, an endless stream of things that I could just do instead of being bored.
I think AVS students do get bored, just like everybody. Yeah, it's really important that they experience it because, thinking back, when I was at AVS, I think some of the best things that I did came out of being bored. I would write a lot, and when I was bored, I would just pick up my journal, my notebook and my pen, and I would just go at it. And I probably wouldn't have gotten as much writing done if I hadn't been bored sometimes, so it's important, super important.
Thank you for listening. I'm Mark Gallivan. This is the Alpine Valley School Podcast, and we'll be back again soon with more stories of real learning for real life.
Bye!